What was your biggest takeaway from Trump's speech today?
Well, of course it's going to be a he said, but I thought that yesterday when I watched the Comey testimony because I've never heard a man talk about his feelings so much as the former FBI director.
Waking up in the middle of the night?
Yes, yeah. And he says, oh, and my impression was this, and I felt he was saying this, and my feeling was this. So, of course, you know, you're not going to be able to say definitively, and you can't call someone a liar when they both have different interpretations of things. And Trump always speaks. He always has many ways you can interpret him. And so, you know, you're not going to nail him down on any of it.
Yeah. You know, he also kind of speaks in tweets, I've noticed. He said, no obstruction, no collusion, he's a leaker. Just really fast. You know, make America great again, build the wall, just boom, boom, boom.
I think it makes 40 characters.
Yeah,
very
absolutely.
Efficient, very efficient on the president's part. No, you know, you're right, Tom. I think that that's the thing about obstruction, and everyone that was kind of hoping and praying for that moment yesterday from the Comey testimony, they were never going to get it. Because at best, it's open to interpretation. And nothing that we heard yesterday points to a direction from the president. At best, it's a suggestion. Now, coming from the commander-in-chief, you could say it's a very strong suggestion that many people wouldn't feel comfortable going against. But ultimately, we know James Comey did go against it, and he kept on moving with the investigation.
I was surprised to see him deny the loyalty thing. Were you surprised by that?
I was, but I think what James Comey said yesterday was pretty clear, is that it was, and for Democrats to try and play it as anything other than a full vindication of Trump is unfortunate. It's unfortunate from a few different manners, because the Democrats try and continue to score political points off of it whenever it's clear that Russia did try and affect our election. And it's also clear that they're continuing to try and affect elections in other countries. And so as Democrats try and turn this into a political gamesmanship, rather than doing a full investigation of what's going on with Russia, something we haven't seen since the Cold War, is just nothing more than a distraction. The other aspect of it is there is an investigation. We just don't know how far down the administration it is. So if it's second, third, or fourth level down, that's by Democrats trying to make it about Trump, it obviates the ability to do a full investigation about who it really is. And that really, it defeats their own purpose of trying to get to the bottom line of what's going on here in the administration.
Ebony, now, just as a lawyer, watching Trump today in the Rose Garden, would have been your advice for a client?
Well, I always tell my clients not to talk. Right?
Yeah.
But that's just me. You know, I don't think Trump did anything too bad. In fact, I would say he was more effective today in the Rose Garden than Mark Kasowitz was yesterday. I thought that was pretty weak and lame, respectfully to counsel there. I thought Trump was a better advocate for himself today than we saw yesterday.
I'm blown away that most of the mainstream media today, and I watch a lot of the other networks, they were so focused in on this was a terrible day for Donald Trump. James Comey called him a liar. And they weren't focusing on this what Comey did, and I know Ebony's going to get to this in a little bit, but I find it appalling that an FBI director leaked information. Just think about this for 1 second. If he thought that the information was not classified, and if he thought it wasn't that big of a deal, that he could go ahead and give it to the New York Times, why didn't he do it himself? Why didn't he just say, hey, I want you to know this is what's going on? Instead, he has to whisper it to an ex-colleague who's a law professor and say, hey, leak this to the New York Times. I think there's a lot more there. I think this is him CYAing himself, 2 days after he got fired.
But you think that Comey was lying on purpose about the loyalty, or you think he misheard?
I think Comey was being only political. Look at everything he said when he had an opinion about anything in that testimony. It was negative for Trump. Everything that was factual, it was straight down the line. But so any opportunity he had to, he would take Trump's legs out, and it was only on the opinion stuff. I was worried about him. He made me nervous. Really? You're a badass
factual about who called who and things like that.
And Trump makes you nervous. By the way, I've been in the Oval Office with Donald Trump. I've been in the White House with Donald Trump. He doesn't make anyone nervous. I've been there one-on-one with him, too.
He doesn't make Eric nervous.
Totally doesn't make Eric bowling nervous. Let me ask you this, though, Eric. To Comey's, kind of going in on Trump, did it give you any credibility points for James Comey when he also turned the fire against Loretta Lynch? What was your take on that?
My take is I think he did it because he had to, because he was sworn in, and I'm going to tell you, I think this is you're going to hit on this later, but I think he's going to get in a lot of trouble for this.
All right. Well, of course, one of the biggest questions still looming is whether tapes exist of President Trump's conversations with James Comey. Here's the exchange where President Trump was pressed on it today.
Do tapes exist of your conversations with him?
Well, I'll tell you about that maybe sometime in the very near future.
Seem to be hinting that there are recordings of those conversations.
I'm not hinting anything. I'll tell you about it over a very short period of time.
When is that?
Okay. Okay. Do you have a question here?
When will you tell us about the recording?
Over a fairly short period of time.
Are there tapes, sir?
Oh, you're going to be very disappointed when you hear the answer. Don't worry.
I thought you can't watch it and think anything else.
It's like he's like a magician. He's saving it all. You know, he wants you to tune in later. But yeah, I mean, I think it's hilarious. And so I thought that when he tweeted it out. I think the original tweet was Director Comey better hope there were no tapes. Isn't that what he said?
Right.
And parentheses.
The quotes. You got to watch the quotes when Trump tweets.
Tapes could be anything, right?
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
What else could tapes be? Any thoughts?
I have no idea. I think we see why he was able to make the transition from a real estate mogul to reality TV star to president of the United States. He knows how to get people's attention and hold it, and that's what he's doing here.
Think about this, though. Let's just chat it out here a little bit. There are tapes or there aren't tapes. If there are tapes, he must have listened to the tapes. He was very definitive in the Rose Garden saying, I never said that. I never said those words about, I never asked for a loyalty pledge from Comey, and I never said the other things about looking the other way on the Flynn investigation. So if there are tapes, those tapes would prove him to be a liar in the Rose Garden. So I'm guessing there either aren't tapes or no one's ever going to see those tapes aren't going to see the light of day.
I'm starting to feel like there aren't tapes because he said, whatever, you're going to be disappointed, and I'll be disappointed if there are no tapes. So therefore, there are no tapes.
Yep.
I think America will be disappointed if there are not tapes. Or, Eric, the other interpretation could be that he says, yeah, when I said Flynn was a good guy, let it go. I mean, just, don't give him such a... I think, again, it's going to all rest on this notion of interpretation.
But John Carl is very specific. Did you ask for the loyalty pledge from Comey in that meeting? And he said, absolutely not. I did not do that.
But
I mean, there's no gray area there.
Eric.
But why would Comey lie about that, Eric? That's where I sort of get tripped up.
I don't know.
If you're going to lie to take someone down, do something that's illegal. Make up a lie where he does something illegal at least.
Why would Comey leak his extemporaneous notes? Why would he give them to the New York Times? Because it would look bad for Donald Trump. New York Times went ballistic. Washington Post went ballistic saying, look what we got. We have an extemporaneous note right after the meeting, and Trump asked for, number one, Comey to look away from Flynn, and number two, a loyalty pledge. So they went crazy. It made Trump look bad for a few months or whatever, couple of weeks, and now nothing.
I think if there are tapes, then it still would not be definitive because people would listen to the tapes and they would continue to interpret them their own way.
Exactly.
That's true.
I completely agree with that.
Well, that's how everybody has been approaching this the entire time. There's no other way that some people are so excited and other people are like, Trump's toast, he's done, by watching the exact same thing.
Is the Daily News tomorrow morning going to put Comey's picture up here and go, liar across the front?
That's just an interpretation, Eric.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, basically, Donald Trump, if you listen to that back and forth with Jonathan Karl from ABC, said, I didn't do it. That would make Comey the liar, right?
Well, he didn't even go that far. Trump was careful to not go that far. Maybe he could have misremembered it,
I'm talking about the Daily News.
Thought he said that.
Daily News, Comey's picture up here tomorrow with liar across the front, please.
Well, if Comey was going to lie on purpose, you'd think he'd come up with something that was actually bad. Or really that, I mean, not that this was great or completely appropriate, but something that could be, right, exactly, something that was actually illegal. I don't know why you would lie and make that your lie. That's what doesn't make sense.
My favorite moment of the testimony was when Marco Rubio said, why didn't you speak up? Because I think that's what all of America was wondering. Why is the FBI director just staying silent? Why is he so shy? It doesn't make sense to me.
He's very tall.
Unless the FBI director didn't think whatever happened in that meeting, he took notes, was in fact illegal. And he didn't find a reason to speak up, which would put the onus on the mainstream media and the left spending months after months after months trying to figure out what went on.
Or
they're wasting everyone's time.
Or Eric Comey is the ultimate political animal and says, I want to just keep this in my back pocket, and I want to use it exactly when it best suits my political expediency.
Either one of those two scenarios could be true, and both of them don't look good for Comey.
No, I can concede that. Absolutely.
All right.